Hey, what's going on? Listen, I heard the Hootie made another video about I'm sitting in the car right now. I'm copying the T-Mott style. This T-Mott drive time live. But now I'm sitting in the car, and then the Hootie made another video, and he was talking about the response that he got to. I'm outside the post office running some errands here. The response that he got to his support for Tommy Sotomayor video, and then I guess people gave him a lot of grief about it. What I really wanted to do, I wanted to give you the reveal of what I went to pick up from the post office. These are some LPs that I had shipped to me, and I wanted to show you what they were. I'll do that a little later on. And I got to write it here. I got to write a money order for my tuition here, because they don't want you to pay them in check anymore, so you got to write a money order, and I got to do that before 12 o'clock. That's the end of the semester, but it's no big deal because I got that under wraps. But what he was saying was that he's getting a lot of grief, and people are saying that they're going to unsubscribe from his channel because the Hootie, you can't be pro-Tommy. No, I'm not pro-Tommy. I'm anti-Tommy. But we had an exchange, but it was a pleasant exchange. You know, it wasn't the Hootie, you some crude, cry, drive ass nigga, because you doing that. Now, look, man. I grew up in the New York School of Hip-Hop. In the New York School of Hip-Hop, beefs are allowed, but they got to be about principle. You can't have a beef with someone over emotional stuff or perceived slights. It got to be real merit. This is why the last genuine rap beef you saw was Jay-Z and, let me turn this off, was Jay-Z and Nas, but it was based on two qualified lyricists going at each other in the field of lyricism. A lot of what you see now is dudes battling, and these dudes, they just sound real bitchy, man, they do. I'ma slap that nigga when I see him. Nigga talking that bullshit. But, nigga come outside, I got them shoes, nigga can't wear them shoes out. Now, I'm serious. Some guys will have a disagreement with the other, with their opponent, or with their nemesis, or with their enemy, or with the other camp, or the alternative entertaining act. Some people will have a disagreement with them based over the most juvenile of things. I mean, even if you had the opportunity to express it, they don't express it appropriately. And I'm getting off point here. I didn't want to do that, but my point was that some people can disagree with the Hootie, some people can agree with him. Some people can disagree with Tommy Sotomayor, and some people can agree with him. Some people can call Tariq Nasheed, they can call Tariq Nasheed a misogynist, and some people will say, well, that guy's he's giving men who don't have those capabilities confidence to talk to the opposite sex, the opposite gender, when they're out there. Because a lot of these guys, they're clowning themselves when they get out there and try to talk to these women. But, you know, I mean, to couple that with the fact, with what I was talking about yesterday, with Dream Hampton, and how she had said that Jay Dilla was the greatest producer ever, and Pete Rock took offense to that. You know, I mean, see, people have the propensity to like who they want to like. If you like that person, you like that person. If you don't like that person, you don't like that person. But you can't say that I gotta like you. I gotta like Pete Rock. Why do I gotta like Pete? Why must I like Pete Rock? If I'm from the West Coast, then I would think that Dr. Dre would be one of the most quintessential producers out there. You know, if you're from the West Coast, you might say, yo, Madlib, Danger Mouse is one of the most prolific hip-hop producers out there. If you're from the Midwest, you would say Kanye West or No ID. Or you would say that dude that did Nelly's record, or Jay Prince, or down there Rap A Lot. That those guys, but you know, I'm still getting off the point. The point is, but those were my examples. The point is, if you like someone else, it shouldn't be hit or miss, all or nothing. Because to me, that would appear that you're making your decisions based on emotional imprudence, you know? I mean, I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he was going on, you gotta give me some of the Hootie sunglasses, you know, come out here looking like a Terminator and shit, you know, biting your style. Because I'm biting T-Mott, I'm gonna bite the Pastor Dow style. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's Pastor Dow. But anyway, you know, forgot where I was. Oh, no, I was saying, now I did forget where I was. But it was something about, no, you're right. I was talking to this dude yesterday online, and I guess he had put out a tweet about Paula Deen, and yesterday was June 19th. So it was Juneteenth. And so we went on with this whole happy-go-lucky, to me, my interpretation of his post is that it was happy-go-lucky, tirade about, not tirade, but an expression of Juneteenth and how great a holiday it was, and he's not even concerned about Paula Deen. And I said, man, look, when you niggas gonna learn? I didn't say like that. I'll tell you exactly what I said. I said, when you black people gonna learn, man? I mean, it's about economics. Everybody sit there, I'm not even worried about her. I'm gonna let her do what she gonna do. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And I'm like, see, that's the type of mentality of thinking that you get from the black church when it's full of old women. Old women, sit up in here and then they do that James Cleveland, Shirley Caesar. No disrespect to Shirley Caesar because I love her. And James Cleveland, even though he was a fruity pants, he was still a dynamite singer. A preacher, I don't know, but as a singer, he put those finishing touches on what would be known as gospel music. I don't know what they call it. Today they call it Christian music or spiritual music, but nah, what you see now, what you saw James Cleveland do, different genres. I mean, they may be singing about God and stuff, but he really put the funk on it. But either way, it's like that song, I don't feel always tired. And I'm like, we talk a lot of these black people, man, it's like, you getting slighted and offended everywhere you turn, but you don't feel no ways tired. Look, I'm tired. I'm not tired as in I'm going to march. You need to call Al Sharpton and one of Mother Silky Suit purple processed hair with them motherfuckers. No disrespect to people who wear purple suits and have processes. Or can do the ham bone, or play doing the knee slapping thing, or they got the gators, even though the gators ain't really real. They're more like plastic with squares drawn on them, interspersed squares, but I'm not hating. Somebody gotta wear that shit. But what I'm saying is, look, man, if you are in a position where you can debilitate someone if that person doesn't have any, after you've made this person rich, if that person doesn't have any respect for you, why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? Why do you sit there and continue to be offended? Time after time after time. People, they insult you. They'll draw editorial cartoons about you. I'm going to get to that in a minute. They'll refuse you service. They'll refuse you good service. But I just can't think about that because I don't feel no ways tired. I'm like, well, I'm tired, man. I'm tired of listening to you corny ass people. I was going to say something else. It's very hard to keep this clean and keep it raw and keep it truthful and keep it point blank and also to keep it poignant without using profanity. So you try, but if I'm not, scripting this stuff out, what I'm going to say actually, then it's very hard. But I just want to get the message out there because, a lot of times I'm talking to my boy Shadi from New Orleans, my man's a truck driver, so he give me a call when he's got a minute and we kick it for a while, I just don't like, putting the phone in my ear because I don't trust the radiation coming off this thing, so I got to use the headset. But either way, we kick it for a while, and I just tell him, man, look, with respect to this conversation I had yesterday, I'm like, look, man, why are all these men so effeminate in their dignity and they lack passion? Why are they ruled by emotion and not by passion? How come these people don't have any integrity? Because to me, my thing is, look, if a person takes it upon themselves to insult you, which what Paula Deen was doing, that's when I'm getting to the Paula Deen issue. She's got this restaurant in Savannah, Georgia, where she's making these demands on her wait staff that they present themselves as though they were slaves or they were involuntary servants from a long time Civil War era. All right. And she says comfortably that she would tell these racist jokes and she throws nigga out. Nigga this! Let me tell you a joke about 4 Jews and 3 niggas. It's funny. She's got Jews, niggas. There's no punchline to the joke, but it's got Jews and niggas. You gotta love the Jew and nigga jokes. So, but you made that woman rich. Somehow she got a talk show, or not a talk show, well, it is a talking show. It's a cooking show where she does talk and interview other people, but she also cooks. Right? You validated the books that she owns. Now the woman's got books. Right? So she had a radio program, and so she becomes influential in the pop culture, in the entertainment business, and in central media and mainstream media. She's becoming very influential. So now we come to find out that there's a hidden person, and there's been a lot of hidden person, these alternate personalities that we find out about people. Like, for instance, John Edwards. Now, you know, I always loved John Edwards, and I still do, but, you know, the guy was a little philanderer. He had a woman on the side, and he knocked a woman up and gave her a baby, and so on and so forth. But then again, I still love John Edwards because to me he's real. But what we don't know is that John Edwards' wife was an awful person. Awful. Hideous is what some people would say about her character, her personality, her bearing, and her demeanor. She was just not the kind of person you want to be around. I wish I knew her name, but you know, but the thing is, we were supposed to have pity for the woman because she had cancer at the time that John Edwards was stiffing some other babe. You know, but I don't care. I still love John Edwards because I understand where he comes from, you know. This is a guy who started with nothing and became himself a millionaire. So, me and John Edwards, we're like this. Unless he don't want to be like this, and then I gotta, for the sake of his political career, we're not like this. But alternatively, we're like this, John. But my point is, when you get to find out the real personality of Paula Deen and that this person is not a good person, I don't understand why you would still continue to endorse that person. Now, the guy I'm talking to last night, he's over here, well, I can't be bothered. Now, I'm putting the fruity mannerisms on him, but from what he was writing, it sounded like that. I can't be bothered. I'm doing my thing, getting my glory, dreaming my dream. I'm not going to rock the boat, you see? And if the white people don't like her, they'll deal with her. And I'm like, sounds like an apologist to me. You sound like a coward and an apologist. Now, in the field of what's happening in the black intellectual arena, in the field of what's going on in black spirit and political thought, it's just full of cowardice. It's just full of cowardice, man. I mean, there's a lot of corny dudes out there that they're looking for an easy payout. They're not willing to rock the boat. They don't even want to think about these things. And so I had related this to the video that Tahuti had made today. And I just gotta make these 2-hour videos. I mean, come on, DM, bro, come on. I mean, you know, look, man, a brother got chopped down a tree in 20 minutes. I can't spend 2 hours watching your video. You got to be succinct, but that's his thing. He could do that. I ain't hating on him. You know, we still cool. We tight, unless he don't want to be tight. Then we not. But we tight. So, you know, but either way, my thing is, a lot of these dudes, man, they do not know how to separate an emotional manner of thinking from a logical manner of thinking, and they don't know how to separate or the difference between emotion and passion. A lot of them don't have passion for anything, not even eating. I mean, not saying, you know, eating is good, of course eating is good, but when you watch what they eat, these people eat the nastiest, sloppiest shit, and you know for a damn fact they can't taste that shit. I know, because, look, people that know me, they know. I will kill a bottle of hot sauce in a minute, and I like my food to be vibrant. Plus, hot sauce has a lot of anti-carcinogenic properties to it, but my point is, I like my food to be vibrant. People eat food has no taste, and wonder why they get sick. Because you ain't supposed to eat. You're not supposed to eat that. How you gonna eat something you can't taste, man? You know? How you gonna eat something you can't taste? You know? By the way, y'all like my hat? It's my Gucci hat. You know? It's got the Gucci logo on it. You know, it's real nice. I like that. You know? But either way, back to what I was saying, is that the guy, he's telling me that my statements mean I'm part of a movement. Yeah, there's a movement. There's a movement to get dignity and respect. If you can't get dignity and respect, then you're just wasting your time. You're participating in your own demise. People are watching you, figure they can insult you, and they don't even have to offer you a full-fledged apology. Now we get to March 2009, the New York Post. You guys remember when they drew that cartoon of Barack Obama as a monkey, and he was shot dead by 2 police officers, and they said, now we have to get someone else to write the economic stimulus package? You remember that, right? I mean, I remember it because everybody was in an uproar. How dare they insult the first black president like that? And then the idea was, and this is how you know they got you, because when it came to an idea, what was the consensus? What should we do? The brainstorming portion of the consensus. What should we do now? I remember, and you can look it up. I remember the notion was we should shut them motherfuckers down. Remember that? Shut them motherfuckers down. Put them in the unemployment line. Fire them. Terminate their existence. Because remember, New York Post is a Rupert Murdoch newspaper owned by News Corp. Now, it is against federal law for a corporation to have a newspaper and a TV station in the same city. But here in New York, Rupert Murdoch owns Channel 5, WNYW. He also owns Channel 9, WOR, and the Fox News Channel, the Fox Media Broadcasting System, the Fox Sports Network, FX, and the New York Post. All of this is against federal law, but nobody wanted to mention that up until March of 2009. Now, when this cartoon comes out, even Dick President Barack Obama didn't even want to do anything. Oh no, let bygones be bygones. And then he calls up Al Sharpton. Well, he didn't do it, but the people that run other media networks. Because if you remember, Al Sharpton was in the Metropolitan Detention Center in downtown Brooklyn for tax evasion. They gave him a light-ass sentence, 90 days or some bullshit like that. And they call him in there, you know. They put Al in charge of all this stuff. They made him the front man. They said, you know, you get out front there and you tell them, we don't need that. We'll just let bygones be bygones. Because if you remember, you didn't even get an apology from Rupert Murdoch nor anybody at the New York Post. The cartoonist did get fired, and nothing happened. This is what happens when you got lip-dick people running your political school of thought. If for those of you that remember of the economic calamity, it's not that far. It was only 5 years ago, whatever, 2008. So, you know, if you're older than 14 years old, then you remember it. But for those of you that remember, in 2008, there was an economic collapse, so to speak. A lot of banks went under. The bank I had my funds in went under, and then they got handed over to Chase Manhattan, which then merged with J.P. Morgan and became J.P. Morgan Chase. You know, but if you remember, in 2009, in the last quarter of 2008 and 2009, a lot of big city dailies were going bankrupt or filing for bankruptcy. There was the Philadelphia Daily News, there was the Detroit Free Press, there was the city local in Denver, there was a city paper in Seattle, there was a city paper in San Francisco, there were a couple other papers in smaller markets. But the fact of the matter is, a newspaper generates its revenue from from classified sales and advertising. But it was very hard for these papers to compete with Craigslist. You know, very hard for these newspapers to compete with Craigslist. Right? So this is using their own business plan, which had their own business model, which had worked for 40, 50, 100 years. Will make money by selling advertising and classified space. Now found itself uncompetitive, and they needed to reorganize their businesses to protect themselves from their debtors. So a lot of them filed for bankruptcy protection, and it was also a method to bust the unions, so they wouldn't have to pay union wages nor guarantee contributions to the pensions or retirement programs and terminate health coverage that they had given these people. I understand, I see it coming. Now, my thing is, if newspapers couldn't compete using their own business model, then there was nothing keeping the New York Post afloat except for the desire of Rupert Murdoch to put money in his paper. Remember, he had to fold the Sun in London because of a scandal going on over there. But over here, he insults black people, and they put Al Sharpton in charge, and you don't get any results. You see, this is dick politicking right here. This is cowardice. Alright? They'd make it so you apologize for existing, not them apologizing for offending you. What you should have done was to shut that newspaper down. Economic boycott. Alright? You people don't understand how functional economic boycotts work. Alright? The A&E television network wanted to make a show about people in Arab family, I think it was Lebanese or something like that. But they were doing a show about being a normal American, but they were going to use an Arab family to express this. And then Lowe's is a Canadian hardware store, so to speak. It's like Home Depot, but it's Canadian. So there's one church in Florida. I really should have all the names of all these places, but it's not like you can't look it up. There was one church in Florida that determined that they did not like the premise of this show, so they were going to boycott it. One church, not a mega church, not one of them Eddie Long or them T.D. Jakes or them A.R. Bernard churches with 10,000, 20,000 members. This is one church with probably 300, no greater than 300 families. Said they were going to boycott Lowe's because you're supporting A&E this A&E program. So Lowe's backed out. It's one church in the middle of Florida with less than 1,000 families, probably no greater than 300 families. You know? But they were able to put the screws to a major department store, a major hardware store. But black people represent roughly the entire population of the country of Canada and couldn't do the same thing to the New York Post because some pimp in a purple suit with a process told them not to. No offense to you purple-suited pimps. Know the process. But, you know, Al Sharpton took it in the ass. You know? Actually, he didn't. He got on his knees and made you take it in the ass. Right? That's what he did. Got on his knees, made you take it in the ass. Right? You had the opportunity to bankrupt a national daily newspaper. Right? Guy tell me, one of my uncle's friends, he said, well, you know, we didn't want to do that because a lot of people going to lose their jobs. See, and this economy, a lot of people lose their jobs. They just might not never get one again. You know, that's what you... And I'm looking at him like, nigga, that's the point. That's the point. So next time someone ever thinks of slighting me or any other black people that you know, they will have to recognize that there were consequences to your actions. Why, if I rob a bank and I get caught and I get sent up for 5 years, these are the consequences to my actions. I'm going up for 5 years. I robbed that bank. I didn't have to rob that bank, but I robbed the bank, got caught, I got sentenced, got served 5 years. But they can draw the first black president in an editorial cartoon as a monkey shot dead, you know, as a monkey shot dead by 2 police officers, so they know that police brutality exists, police misconduct exists. They know that the first black president, he already has a position. He was sworn in January 20th, 2009. They know that the economy is in a bad state. They know all of these things, but what they don't know is the ferocity of your reproach. What they don't know is what will happen if they insult you. They believe nothing will happen, and nothing did happen. So I call the guy a coward. You know? You don't know me to say that? Hey, man, look, man. You can learn more from a person's actions and from their writing than you can from anything that they will say. You know, look, man, I'm sitting in my truck right now. You know, I was on my way, you know, get my suit from the cleaners. You know, I'm going to be the new Superman, but I ain't the new Superman. Just a regular man. Right? So what happens is, you know, these people come out and they find all types of ways to offend you, and you know, the black political sentiment is, I'm not going to be offended, I'm just going to take it in stride. That's a bitch move. That's a bitch move. And you only learn that shit from going to them bitch-ass churches. Where them preachers tell you about, don't worry about the turmoil you suffer from today, because I'll tell you, in the afterlife, you'll be walking on clouds. You'll get to do everything you wanted to do and never got to do. Why can't you do that right now? Right? Why all these dick, you know? And you know, and I'm straight over here, but I want to relate one more thing. Remember when Hillary Clinton was running for president? She's running for the nomination of the Democratic Party. Now here in New York, we saw this light-skinned dude out of Chicago. We said we're going to support that guy because he's light-skinned dude, very articulate, educated. He was the thing that they told you that you had to be successful. that guy. That was Mr. Obama Jr. right there. Then Hillary Clinton, what she wants to do, she's coming to the black churches and talking to all of these simp-ass niggas with the glossy. You know, they all remind me of Arsenio Hall in Coming to America. You know, they all remind me of the preacher that introduced him at the church, this Joe the policeman, you know, and he started singing and shit. You know, they all remind me of that dude. So they all got up in there, they put them all in the dais, you know, and Hillary Clinton was in the middle. We support her. She gonna do good. That's all. And she told me if I supported her, she gonna give me a new Cadillac. And then he put out the hat, and she punched a big old giant. Cause that's how they do it. They put a big old giant check in there for $20,000. None of it goes to the church. It all goes to the preacher for his endorsement. All right. Then the people get out of church, go back home, and live in the ghetto. Preacher got a jet. Preacher got a Bentley. He got a 2-year-old Mercedes-Benz. But you live in the ghetto. You know? So my point is, man, I mean, I'm getting too far, and I gotta, this doesn't have a lot of space on it. It's only got like 60 minutes, and I gotta make my way back so I can get the, well, I'll make another one when I get over there though. But my point is, with respect to the dude and Paula Deen, you know, you've got to take the opportunity to shut this woman down. See, me, I don't have any of her books. I don't watch her show. I don't watch a cooking program, and I don't consider her to be an authority nor an icon in the culinary world, in the culinary atmosphere. So I've already done my part. I did that before this thing came out yesterday about what her real personality is. All I'm asking other people to do is to do the same thing. Right? Don't walk around here with your head in the sand and say, I just can't think about that. I gotta think about me. I gotta do my thing. I gotta, nobody wanna hear no more of that coward shit, man. You know, get some balls, man. And if you got a sack, put some in the fucking sack. And if you need some help, take your ass to fucking Lowe's and get you some fucking concrete, some cement. Put that shit in your nutsack, nigga. Get you some motherfucking balls. Alright, shit, go to Sporting Goods store. Some duct tape. Alright? Get some motherfucking softballs and just, you know, duct tape them shits together and staple them to your nutsack. That's all I'm saying. Alright. I gotta break out right now because it's 10:40 on this side. And where the hell I put my keys? Put my keys over here, and I gotta make it back. But I wanna do another video later because I really want to show you what I picked up from the post office. I think it'll be great. And then I also gotta pick my boy up from school. Today's the last day, and I gotta run over there by 12 o'clock. So I'm out of here. I'll see y'all later.